We're back with the People Chronicles and Jim Speese,
Hi.
and we talked a lot about your band, Cloud Party. Grab your CD over there. It's a necessity, because if it was my band, I'd want to... You have to be proud of them. You are, right? This is your latest CD. It's called...
Dying Art of Living.
Yes, and you have a website?
Yes, cloudpartymusic.com.
All right, and you've been around for a while here in Berks County.
By the way, it's not Cloud 9. I just want to get that out. Everyone says
Cloud 9, you eat there, right?
Cloud Party.
Oh, all right. Good. So do you have any performances coming up that we need to know about?
Well, we're playing... Well, depends what you mean by coming. I don't know when this is going to run, so...
Oh, let's say next week. Okay. After next week.
Well, we're playing the Liederkranz for the... it's a benefit concert for the Krista Stout Scholarship Fund. And that's an all-day thing. We're playing last. There's a whole bunch of great bands playing. That's Saturday the 21st. I hope that's right. Okay. I think that is right. Saturday the 21st at Liederkranz in Reading. All day long. I think it's $5 to get in. It's family's welcome. It's going to be a great time. Lastronaut's playing. That's the first band I can remember off the top of my head. We're playing. I don't remember everybody else.
It's all right.
So that's up. That's coming up. And then September 28th at the West Reading Tavern.
Good to know. And everything is on your website that we need about Cloud Party.
Yeah.
Okay. So do you think when your students are listening, because that's the most intriguing part to me, if I were to, go online and see this podcast and be like, that's my teacher, because there are some secrets, not real dirty, naughty secrets that are coming out here, but things that people don't know about you, your students, namely. What exactly do they need to know from you about your learning experiences from the time that you started doing what you were doing? We've already learned how you went back to school, which is never a bad thing, because I say that all the time, to sticking with your band. Now, you went away. Where?
I lived in Montana for 3 or 4 years. I lived in Gardner, Montana, worked in Yellowstone National Park for a few years.
What did you do there?
I worked. This does sound weird. I worked in an
secrets.
office, but it was we worked for the concessionaire of the park. So we did. I took reservations for there are 9 hotels in the park, so we took reservations for the hotels. But the beautiful thing about it was I lived in Gardner, Montana, which is a town of 600 people, probably 650 dogs, but 600 people. There was one grocery store, one small grocery store, one drugstore. 2 churches and 4 bars, right? This is the kind of town it was, and it was a blast. It was the northern entrance to Yellowstone National Park, and we lived there year round. So I'm living there in the winter, and it snowed. I was there for 3 or 4 years. It snowed once at least every month. So. But
you left and you came back. Why did you come back?
I did. There were a couple reasons. One is family is here. That's at the top of the list, I guess. Plus, this is home, right? I had a home here. The whole time I was living there, I still owned here. And then I wanted to play rock and roll again. And in Montana, I could play acoustic shows. I had to drive 3 or 4 hours every time I played one, but it was just me, and I just wanted a band. So I came back, and that's when the band started. That's when I began Cloud Party.
And you're still with Cloud Party, and we are happy to inform everybody about your CD that you just talked about. And what I want to know from you is, and it keeps going on in my mind, the fact that you are such a big go-getter, a chance taker. You do it. You get out there and you do it. So from everything that we talked about, from going back to school to coaching, teaching, how do you do it? Why do you do it?
Well, I'm glad you're asking the easy questions. First of all, I would say, I think everybody thinks they should take more risks. So I feel like I should be taking more risks, all the time. But, I see something I want to do, and I'm like, I try to figure out how I can do it. But the easiest way to do things, in my experience is limited to me, right? So this might not work for you, but it's to just step in it and try it and see what happens. And then if you fail, so what? You live once.
But you make that sound so easy. Just go ahead. Just try it.
Yeah, I know. And it's definitely easier said than done. I'm not going to pretend like it's not scary, just to give you an example, my first band I was the keyboard player in, which is strange now because I rarely play keyboards. But I wasn't the singer. We had 2 other singers in the band, both of whom were really good singers. And then there was me. I was the third guy. I was like the Ringo of the singers, And the first time I played with my new band was actually at the Railroad House before it was expanded. It was so small. And I was like, I've got to get up there and sing. And I thought, well, we got all these songs I have to sing, and I've never sung a full night before. And the hardest song I have to sing is this one song. And I was like, we'll put that first. Because if I get through that, I'm golden, right? I think a lot of people might have put that last, right? Maybe, and I'm like, no, do it first, get it out of the way, see what happens. And it was beautiful, and it worked out. And that's how I kind of approach things. I don't know if that makes sense.
It does.
Okay.
Absolutely does. And for the younger generation that is from Berks County.
You mean like me a year
right.
ago?
Yeah. Berks County tends to get a bad rap sometimes.
Sure.
Kids that are going to school here that have decided to stay here, whether it be at Alvernia, Albright, RAC, those colleges that they've decided to stay here at home to continue their education, and they don't know whether or not they're going to leave or whether they're going to stay. And do you have anything that you can give them, a positive reinforcement, something that you have to say to them that would keep them here? Your reasoning for staying here at home?
No, I'm just kidding.
Look.
I just wanted to ruin your entire podcast.
No.
No, I mean, there are reasons to go. I'm not going to lie. I mean, there are. If you've always felt like San Francisco is the place for me and this is where I want to make, then do it, right? But there are also reasons to stay. There is nothing wrong with this area that isn't wrong with other areas. A lot of people complain about. Let's talk about the music scene because it's something I know pretty intimately. The music scene in Berks County is not real good right now. It's very tough. It's tough to find places to play. That said, if you live anywhere else, it's also tough to find places to play. Unless you live in New York or San Francisco, and you want to, that's a different thing entirely, right? But then no one will know you because you'll be playing these crappy bars and you'll be paying to play. So that's part of it. I mean, the grass is always greener, right? That's what we learned from The Wizard of Oz, right? There's no place like home. That's true, right? You know this place intimately. You can own this place if you want to, right? You can make a name for yourself here. It's not as easy elsewhere in some ways, but also the colleges and schools here are pretty darn good. In terms of community college, Reading is an excellent community college. Albright is an excellent school. Alvernia is an excellent school. And just in the general area, Kutztown and others, right? So if there's a lot you can take from these things, from the great businesses and schools in the area. I find, and I was that kid, when I was 15, I wanted to get the hell out of here. I just felt like, this place is just strangling me. And I did for a little bit. I would get away and come back and but in the end, you make yourself into what you are, no matter where you are. And location, not to argue with realtors, location is not everything in some ways. But that said, there's a lot here that people just don't pay attention to.
I like that. You are what you make yourself. So thank you for joining us on the People Chronicles today, Jim Speese from Cloud Party. Look, I'm a shameless plug here. We really appreciate you coming along and sharing your story and everybody that learns from you.
And if I can just say something, local radio also.
Oh, thank you. Where would I be without it?
Yeah.
I'm Jackie Hoffman along with Jim Speese on the People Chronicles.